ladies and gentlemen, someday, somehow, Seth Rollins is gonna learn. Seth Rollins is gonna learn. It's like every day or every week. Every week, I wake up from a nice slumber, and then I just hear from the internet, Seth Rollins, and I'm like, what did he do now? What did Seth Rollins do now to trigger everybody online? So I go on Twitter. A friend of mine sends me a link like that. And he's like, so Seth Rollins wants everyone to be like him. Because Seth Rollins said in an interview, no kid wants to be like Brock Lesnar. You know, I understand that, people have opinions, I understand that people have their own point of view, their own thoughts, or they're trying to defend their company. But the thing is, what I don't understand is that why is Seth Rollins going about it the way how he's going about it? Because it's not about his opinion in a way. It's more like logically. Nobody wants to be like Brock Lesnar, or no kid wants to be like Brock. So no kid wants to show up like every once in a while, getting paid lots of money to do so. Probably got their flights and airplane travel covered for all we know. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Whenever you come to an arena, people give you a reaction. They're not silent. They give you a reaction, whether it's boo or cheered. And all you do is just bump around in the ring. You have a guy talking for you in Paul Heyman. And that's it. That's it. You leave, get your money, you're done for the day. You don't show up maybe for a week. So think about that. You go to work for one day out of the entire week, and you get paid more than many would get paid in an entire year. Nobody wants to be like Brock Lesnar, huh? No kid wants to be like Brock. Now, I feel like he said that in a storyline. I did read the article, but I just skimmed through it. I didn't really read it word for word, because every time whenever Seth speaks, I just don't want to listen. I really don't. Like Seth Rollins, again, people are trying to argue with me on the internet, even though I'm right about this. Some say Seth Rollins has been awful way before the timeline I've given him. I said that Seth Rollins started to die, not literally, but like as far as his stock goes, of interest in Seth Rollins, it started to die all the way back when Ambrose turned heel. After that, done. He did not recover. He had a match with Shinsuke Nakamura at Survivor Series that I did not care about. Yeah, at first I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. But at the same time, I didn't care. And the fans in Los Angeles that night at Survivor Series were so awful. It's like they went through a whole show before they went to Survivor Series, and then they were just tired. Seth Rollins wanted to talk about realistic stuff, huh? How intergender wrestling isn't realistic, etc., etc. And I pointed this out on my Raw review this past Monday. Oh, so you going to the ring while Brock Lesnar, who is 100% fresh, and you're the one that's busted open and beaten up with a chair, you going to Brock while beaten up is realistic. That you are not going to get your ass whooped in that scenario. Okay. It's like whatever Seth says, it always backfires on him. You know that? And it's worse on TV. It's not even like he says it and then nothing happens on TV. Somehow, they take what he says, and somehow apply it onto television and make Seth Rollins look worse. Rollins wants to talk about realistic and unrealistic shit, how wrestling should be more about reality. Well, what you just did on Raw was not realistic. How you are cleared to wrestle at SummerSlam, even though if it was anyone else, they would have cut your ass out and said, nope, you're not going to SummerSlam. Anyone else, they would have replaced you like that. But you're Seth Rollins, and apparently, and it's funny because it's like everyone now is catching on, because I've been saying this since Brock Lesnar won the Universal title, and then when they had that Battle Royale on Raw the following night or the next week, I pointed this out, but way before anyone else did. Alright? That includes the JDs and everyone else. I pointed this out first, that they're booking Seth Rollins just like how they booked Roman Reigns last year. And what do I mean by that is, Roman Reigns last year, pointing out how Brock doesn't show up for work, how, all that nonsense, right? Yeah, they did some extra shit. The thing is, and JD pointed this out in one of his videos, that Roman Reigns looked good while Seth Rollins looked bad, pretty much. Roman Reigns looked like he fit in that role that they put him in. But with Seth Rollins, he doesn't fit at all. He just, like, they just put him in there and then see what happens. Carnage! Let the carnage happen. Let's see what happens with Seth Rollins being in that same spot that Roman Reigns did last year. I pointed this out, that they're doing what they did with Roman last year. They did different things with the whole scenario and the basic of it. The whole thing, it's the same exact feeling I'm getting. You know? Only difference is that Roman didn't win the title last year until SummerSlam. Seth Rollins won the title at WrestleMania, but then lost it at Extreme Rules due to cash-in. So my point when I said that they're booking Seth like Roman is that you feud from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. Roman Reigns feuded from WrestleMania to the Greatest Royal Rumble to SummerSlam. And then when Seth Rollins won that Battle Royale and became number one contender, I realized the dude is just like Roman Reigns. And you know what the thing is? It's like when Roman Reigns is not in the title picture, he's a lot better, low key. But when he's in the title picture, it's a bit, That's when people start to get a little hatred towards him. But when he's not in the title picture, it's okay. Seth Rollins, I don't know what the fuck happened. It just, after that heel turn with Ambrose, everything went downhill. Didn't come back from that. The way how they booked them and the whole scenario with the Ambrose was just awful. And then after that, they made him win the Royal Rumble, which right moment, right thing to do. But then when it came to the WrestleMania match and the build, God, the build. The only thing I remember from that build was Shelton Benjamin being a part of a segment with Seth Rollins, because he used to be whether a partner or trained Brock Lesnar. That's the only thing I remember in that entire WrestleMania build between Brock and Seth. And then when the match happened at WrestleMania, all we got was an assault before the match started. And then Seth Rollins proceeded to low blow Brock. And then stomp, won the title. And at first, of course, everybody like me was like, yeah, holy shit, fuck yeah, won the title, yeah, the beast is over, thank God, go to UFC, etc., etc. And then time goes on. Becky Lynch won the championship, then they started dating, yay. Then they decided, we're going to have Brock Lesnar beat Seth Rollins. Why not? Right? So, how do we do that? Well, let Seth Rollins fight somebody else so they think that Brock is gone. So, let's put AJ Styles in that situation. AJ Styles goes on the feud with Seth Rollins. And then they had a great match on Money in the Bank. They had a great match. And then after that, the man's man started to happen. Baron Corbin became a factor. Lacey Evans became a factor. And then they had the match at Stomping Grounds. And they had the match at Extreme Rules. Again. Not even after Extreme Rules. After Stomping Grounds, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm sick of Seth Rollins. His title reign means nothing. He comes out. I don't even yell "burn it down" anymore when I watch Raw. Like, that's how you know the dude's dead. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, yeah, it's weird for me to say that, because I don't say it, but everyone else does. I'm just saying, like, before it was cool, but I just don't feel the need to be like, burn it down anymore. I just don't. The dude comes out, I barely care. And I pointed this out in my Seth Rollins rant video. That I was like, if I'm on my laptop doing anything else but watching him on TV, if I hear him but I don't pay attention, when I listen to people like Callahan or Heyman, anyone that's a good talker, anyone that I can actually, invest in, I don't do anything else and I fucking listen. When he's on TV, I literally don't do shit but be on my laptop, editing videos, putting together videos, or watching videos, whatever. Anything but listen to Seth Rollins. So, again, this whole thing with Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, the fact that this Sunday at SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar might lose to Seth Rollins, even though now people want Brock to retain. And that promo he cut. Oh my god. The promo on Raw that he cut. I'm like. Because at that moment, I'm like, okay, if you want to talk about realistic shit, realistically, Seth Rollins has internal injuries. He should not be able to compete. They should find a replacement like that. If they're able to replace fucking Braun Strowman at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view for Finn Balor, they can do the same thing for Seth Rollins. Who would you have fight Brock at SummerSlam? I don't know. That's the thing, I don't know. I would have Lashley, but he's hurt. He's injured, so can't have that. I don't know. Anyone else but Seth at this point, right? So we're gonna get the match at SummerSlam. Here's what's gonna happen: suplex, damage to Seth Rollins. Rollins is gonna find an opening, maybe hit a low blow again, or try to, and then Brock counters it this time. One of those two, and then maybe a lucky stomp or two. Maybe a chair is in the ring, a stomp onto the chair, and that might be it to take Brock Lesnar out. That's what might could happen at SummerSlam. This better not main event the show, please. Anything but. Anything. I'd rather have Charlotte Flair and Trish Stratus main event the fucking show. The match means nothing to me, but at the same time, I know it's going to be at least 15-20 minutes long. What I just described to you should be about 10 minutes long. That is not a main event, okay? So, please, they should do anything else but. So I just have to give my opening statements on Seth Rollins' ridiculousness of, realistic nonsense. Let's talk about Roman Reigns. Why not? Roman Reigns versus Buddy Murphy possible for SummerSlam. Now, I don't like the fact that they rushed it way too quickly. Like they had us by our balls 1 week. And then they let go the next week. Like they had a nice firm grip on our balls of interest. And then when SmackDown came, they let it go. They let it go. It's like, you're free. There you go. I don't want your ball is of interest anymore. I don't care about your interest anymore. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna squash it. That's what they did. Wanna know how? Big Dog comes backstage. He confronts Buddy Murphy. And then he's like, tell me who did it. Buddy Murphy's like, I ain't gonna tell you. And even if I did, had the knowledge of who did what happened to you, I wouldn't tell you anyway. And then Roman Reigns is like, alright, you ain't gonna tell me. And then he beats the shit out of him, punks him out, had him he drifted him against the wall, and be like, who did it? Who did it? He did, Rowan. It was Rowan. Rowan. It was like, Rowan, like from like Daniel Bryan and Rowan. You're like, I didn't see Daniel Bryan, but I saw Rowan. I was like, now in my head, I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't really mean that he's the culprit. They could still run along with this. They could have a diversion. Maybe Buddy Murphy just said a name that popped in his head to make us think. You know, I don't know. But then again, Rowan was there in the footage or the picture, so it makes sense. So Rowan could have been there, wrong timing, and the camera just caught him right there. You never know. It might not be Rowan. So hopefully they continue this, because yeah, if Rowan was the one with the scaffolding, the shit that fell onto him on SmackDown last week, then who's the dude that drove the car on Raw? You know? People saying it shouldn't be Daniel Bryan because it wasn't eco-friendly, the car was, so maybe that. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. But for Wrestling Inc., Roman Reigns versus Buddy Murphy, possible match for SummerSlam. As noted earlier via PW Insider, word going around at SmackDown was that the planned Reigns versus Bryan singles match will likely be dropped from SummerSlam so they can let the current story play out. They had also been speculation on Reigns and Samoa Joe taking on Rowan and Bryan. But it looks like now we may get just some sort of angle to further the storyline at Sunday's pay-per-view, unless Reigns versus Murphy happens. Which, I will accept this match if Murphy's gonna win. By the way, just saying, because you know, let Murphy get here's what they should do. Okay, I don't care if it's cheap or not, but this is what if the match is gonna happen at SummerSlam, you have somebody you know, fuck around with the feed on the Titantron. You let that happen, right? And then you have Buddy Murphy capitalize, roll up 1, 2, 3, surprise win at SummerSlam. There you go. That's the only way. That way, Buddy Murphy will not get squashed like a bug at SummerSlam. He still gets to breathe on the Blue Brand on SmackDown. And, you know, obviously, there's still a lot more to this story. There's that. It was also reported earlier that WWE writers have pitched several ideas for who was behind the attacks on Reigns, and that Rowan may not be the attacker in the end. See? Hopefully that will be the case. For those who missed it, SmackDown, Roman beat a confession out of Murphy that Rowan was the man behind last Tuesday's mystery attack backstage. As seen below, Reigns took to Twitter and gave Murphy props after the angle. Quote, man, no doubt at WWE_Murphy is a stud. Great in the ring, and I can't wait to introduce him to the big fight. But no matter how big a man's arms are, if I hit you first, you're gonna take a seat. Big arms, buddy, was no exception. Ah, yes sir, Reigns wrote on Twitter. Murphy took to Twitter today and said he didn't care who attacked Reigns, but he's down for a match. He wrote, quote, I came to hashtag SmackDown Live from hashtag 205 Live because I know I belonged in a ring. I don't care who attacked Roman Reigns, but if he wants to put his hands on me again, I have no problem stepping in the ring with him anywhere and smile right in his face again. Hashtag best kept secret. Low key, I did not like the fact that Buddy Murphy's talking shit on Twitter where he could have done it in his face. I mean, it kind of makes him look a bit weak. Low key, it does. You know, it's like you got punked out on SmackDown, and then you're coming out here be like, man, if he does that shit again, I'm gonna whoop his ass. Like, for real? Like, what was his attitude when it happened? What happened? Like, come on. So, If Murphy versus Reigns happens at SummerSlam, again, you have somebody fuck with the feed on the Titantron, get Roman's attention, and then Buddy Murphy rolls him up 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Or maybe you have the referee distracted too, Murphy low blows Reigns, and then a roll up 1, 2, 3. Something cheap to get Murphy the win. Please, Murphy needs the win. The dude was a phenomenal Cruiserweight champion last year. No way you can fuck this up. Come on now. I'm just saying. He was a great Cruiserweight champion following Cedric Alexander. Come on. You already messed up Cedric Alexander already. Don't do it to Murphy on SmackDown. That's all I can say about that. Alright. WWE rumors. Reason why women's tag title match took place on Raw revealed. This was posted 22 hours ago. This is rumors, apparently. So, even though it was a great idea to create another set of titles for the female superstars, low-key, not really. Because, the Iconics, they barely defended the titles, and when they did, they always end the match in disqualification. Can't really call them credible champions. I mean, they held the titles for about 4 months, I think. 3 to 4 months, I should say. So, come on, you know what I'm saying? It's a bit weak. The new titles hasn't had the best booking or the main focus since WrestleMania. Bayley and Banks wanted to carry and defend the titles across all brands, including NXT, which, by the way, the Iconics have never shown up on NXT. But then again, I'm glad they didn't, because they don't need it. The women down there don't need it. They just need to focus on the women's championship of NXT. That's all you need to focus on. Anyways, in its short existence, the WWE Women's Tag Team titles have changed hands thrice since Elimination Chamber. That's what it says here, thrice. While the titles haven't been regularly featured on programming lately, there was a good reason for having the match on Raw instead of as a part of the lineup for SummerSlam, because nobody would give a fuck. They barely give a fuck on Raw, so they're not gonna give a fuck at SummerSlam. I know my city. I know my man's here. All right, they're not that dumb. They gave Goldberg the rub at Survivor Series in 2016. All right, I wasn't there because I was too late on the tickets. I got the Raw after one where he announced that he was gonna be in the Royal Rumble. At least I was there to see Goldberg live. I'll take that. I'm grateful for that. I'm just saying. You know, but SummerSlam this year, yeah, for some reason, Goldberg loves Toronto. Low key. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the main factor for having the match on TV instead of at the show was simple. They felt the match wouldn't have enough time on the card with almost 15 Of course! Not enough time, not enough interest, no care whatsoever if this match was on SummerSlam. Even if on the kickoff show, that wouldn't do any justice. Just saying. For whatever reason, I guess they decided to move it off the pay-per-view, I guess to give it more time and put it on TV. So I don't know if we're done to 13 matches on the pay-per-view, but it's probably a good thing to take one match off the pay-per-view anyway. Depending on the match, some might go more than 15 minutes, while other ones could be shorter. But it seems to be a good move to have the title match yesterday night and have new champions crowd. This was obviously posted, I believe, on Tuesday. I'm recording this Wednesday, so there's that. What's next? Whatever you're feeling regarding the women's tag team titles, it was better to at least get a lengthy match on Raw. Raw, rather than a match under 3 minutes and miss a 6-hour show. Not every champion is going to make the show, and at least the female superstars receive much needed TV time for their match. So, I guess so. You know? I love how somebody left a comment here. eBlade3529 says, I don't mind them moving the title match to Raw. I'm just pissed that Alexa Bliss once again gets handed the title to her because Vince is so keen on a rubbish in-ring performer whose only good perk is her mic skills. A lot more than that, if you ask me. But yeah, I'm not happy that they won the tag belts. I honestly don't care. The women's tag team titles are the most unvaluable thing they have on the WWE roster. Out of all the championships that they have in the WWE, the women's tag team titles are at the bottom of the barrel. Real shit. Universal title, I wouldn't put that at the bottom of the barrel, or second last, third last, not even fourth last. Maybe fifth last, but not dead last. Dead last is the women's tag team titles. The 24/7 championship, to me, is in the top 10 championships that I care about in the WWE right now. Real shit. I'm not lying to you. All the other ones are NXT. There you go. NXT 205 and the NXT UK. There you go. Anyways, we got another rumor from Sportskeeda. Remember how last week we talked about Hulk Hogan coming out or coming back to WWE TV, right? Well, 4-time retired WWE champion to return for SummerSlam. Well, this was rumored 2 days ago, so thankfully this will not be the case. Kurt Angle! While Kurt Angle was one of the best athletes on any roster during his younger days, the 50-year-old wasn't quite able to compete in-ring as he could once. Sportskeeda, their awful writing is their articles. The way how they put it together is so bad. I really can't stand it. As per PW Insider, WWE will be bringing Kurt Angle for SummerSlam weekend. It could be speculated that since WWE wanted to bring in Angle for the WrestleMania weekend, he will be appearing not just on the SummerSlam show itself, but other events that will take place over the weekend as well. Maybe WWE surprises us all by having Angle show up at TakeOver, which I'll be there live. Anyways, which will be taking place on the 10th, this Saturday. SummerSlam will be taking place on the 11th. Yeah. Hopefully WWE has something interesting for. No, they shouldn't. Why do we care about Kurt Angle nowadays? The dude retired. I mean, come on. God, I don't understand. Let's go to Forbes.com, shall we? Because we have a lot to discuss here. Okay. 27 minutes, 34 seconds. I thought it'd be a lot more than that, low-key. I'm not gonna lie. Expect WWE to use more part-timers going forward. So yeah, you hate Brock Lesnar, you hate Goldberg, Undertaker. Ha! You got more to come! WWE is about to get an extra dose of part-timers. The company's Raw reunion episode did about 3.093 million viewers, while according to SES Scoops, or SC Scoops rather, .com, was the best rating WWE has done since August 20th, 2018, and the most watched episode of 2019. The USA Network had to be pleased with the show's significant increased viewership, as the network reportedly suggested the idea of a reunion show as one way to potentially increase WWE's struggling ratings, which have been a major cause of concern for executives from both NBC Universal and Fox. Of course, a one-off reunion show is nothing more than a temporary solution for WWE to WWE's ratings woes, but the success of that show, which featured a slew of legends including Hogan, DX, Austin, is almost guaranteed to lead to WWE once again relying heavily on the use of part-timers stars at the top of the card. In fact, it's already happening. Just look at the SummerSlam card, and it's quite apparent that WWE is hell-bent on doing whatever it takes to improve its viewership, and that its top priority is utilizing stars from the past. The show's likely main event would be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, with the Beast headlining SummerSlam for the second. Okay. Well, I was gonna get to that in a sec. Okay, headlining SummerSlam for the second straight year, and probably set to retain the Universal Championship because advertisement indicated that Rollins will be moving on to a non-title feud with Lesnar. With Lesnar signed with WWE through next summer, it's likely that this is just the beginning of his third Universal title reign in as many years, as a frustrating reality for those who are tired of seeing stars like Lesnar showing up occasionally, only to then immediately disappear for long stretches. The reality, though, is that Lesnar will probably soon be joined by Randy Orton as yet another part-timer. I wouldn't really call Randy Orton a part-timer, just saying. I really wouldn't. Randy Orton's not really a part-timer. He just takes breaks. There's a difference between part-timer. Brock Lesnar is a part-timer. John Cena is a part-timer. The Undertaker is a part-timer. Randy Orton isn't really a part-timer. You know? He doesn't have to wrestle every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have to. At least he's there. You know? But I don't know. I feel like he takes a break from, I believe, WrestleMania into the summer. I think from after WrestleMania, he's done, and he takes a break, and then he comes back, pretty much, right? While Orton is around much more than your average part-timer, he has been working a reduced schedule for a while now, and that isn't expected to change anytime soon. What is expected to change soon is who is holding the WWE Championship, with the widespread speculation being that the Viper could soon be holding SmackDown's top title in preparation for the Blue Brand's upcoming move to Fox. Orton is viewed internally as one of WWE's top stars, so it certainly stands to reason that WWE will put the title on him in order to appease those TV executives and build around him as the face of the Blue Brand, which I wouldn't be mad at. You know, Randy Orton is a superstar. Remember what I said about Seth Rollins not being a superstar? Because when people talk about wrestling, they don't really hear. I don't hear Seth Rollins. I hear Cena, Randy Orton, Hogan, Warrior, Rock, Austin, Triple H, Mankind, Taker, Kane, etc. Those are superstars. If you have random hicks outside of wrestling, right? Like not your average wrestling fan, not even a casual, just someone that just randomly heard those names, and they come up to you and be like, "Oh, like, do you watch that WWE thing?" Is like, "Oh yeah, like I do." Oh yeah, that's where Rock was, right? Or Stone Cold, or even Randy Orton. Is Randy Orton still there? Like, like people like that. If you come to me, or if somebody comes to you and say those names, they're superstars because they're known all around the world. I don't hear people saying something about Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. The only time people say Seth Rollins is when I'm wearing his Seth Rollins shirt, which I'm not wearing right now, but you get the point. So I'm just saying, like, if you're not known by non-wrestling fans 100%, then, I'm sorry. If you're not talked about like that by non-wrestling fans, you're not really a superstar. You're just a star. You're in that bubble. You're in that bubble where you're only talked about by the wrestling fans and nobody else, pretty much. Though it's not a guarantee, it is an absolutely certainty that at least three other major SummerSlam matches will revolve around part-timers. At the Big Four pay-per-view, Shane McMahon will face Kevin Owens in one of the show's biggest matches, continuing the trend of Shane O'Mac consistently being featured in one of the top feuds on WWE programming. I wouldn't really call McMahon a part-timer. He has wrestled on Raw and SmackDown, though. You got to give him that. Even though we hate him, but he's not. I don't know. When I think part-timer, I think Brock Taker. I don't think of anyone else. Like, I'm sorry. That's how I look at it. McMahon's push has been infuriating, not just to fans, but to WWE's very own superstars, who are miffed that so much valuable TV time has been dedicated to the son of the boss. While there are rumblings that McMahon's massive push could be coming to an end soon, I highly doubt it. This is a classic case of we'll believe it when we see it. Shane will continue to be pushed as a top act and will be joined at SummerSlam by another part-timer and Trish Stratus, who will face Charlotte Flair in a dream match that has no value whatsoever. When Cena took on AJ, you had the face of TNA versus the face of WWE. There you go. Trish versus Charlotte? Why? You had the face of the Divas era versus the face of now era. But the thing is, why? Why was this done within 2 weeks before SummerSlam? Why couldn't you do this 3 weeks ago? You had Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar, their build being built up. You had their match being announced way before even Battleground even happened in 2016. I remember like it was yesterday. I'm watching SmackDown and I just see, or was it SmackDown or Raw? I don't remember. But like somebody, I think it was Scott Stanford. That was that white dude you see on TV that'd be like telling you about the live events that's coming up, right? During the commercial breaks. You have him coming out and be like, oh, at SummerSlam, it's going to be Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. Announced out of nowhere. So why couldn't they do the same thing here? Where, oh, at SummerSlam, Trish Stratus will be coming out of retirement once again to go one-on-one with Charlotte Flair. And then people would be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then there you go. They have the Raw reunion. They're going to build off of that and moving forward. But no. Let's have Trish Stratus come on to a random episode of SmackDown on a random edition of King's Court with Jerry Lawler, who's a massive mark for Trish Stratus, not because of her in-ring ability. So, yeah, this match is happening. Why? Because you want to put Charlotte Flair on the SummerSlam card, and because of Trish Stratus is from Toronto. There you go. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, please convince me otherwise. There's no reason for Charlotte Flair. She missed the SummerSlam before. I think 2000. Oh shit. No, wait. Yeah, she did. 2017. I was thinking about wait, no, 2016, 2018, 2017. She missed SummerSlam, so she can miss a SummerSlam. SummerSlam is not that big of a show anymore. Low key, it's not. So you might as well. You could at least kept her off the card and let her, you know. I don't know. They just put on the card 2 weeks. 2 weeks before the damn pay-per-view. That's sad. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Sad. Yeah, Trish Stratus who will face Charlotte Flair in the dream match. That sounds good on pay-per-view, but ultimately gives another pay-per-view spot to a star who will disappear soon afterwards. Oh, damn, there's more to this shit? Okay, while Trish Stratus is one of the most beloved female superstars in all of WWE history, her return at SummerSlam speaks to a bigger problem than that has long plagued WWE. Its portrayal of full-time stars as inferiors to stars from the past, that also been evidenced by Goldberg's up-and-coming in-ring return at SummerSlam against Dolph Ziggler, who will likely be dismantled by Goldberg en route to potentially returning to the ring down the road. Meanwhile, Goldberg's Super Showdown opponent Undertaker recently signed what amounts to a lifetime contract with WWE, one that virtually ensures he'll be showing up again soon. I would probably predict by the Saudi Arabian show in November. There you go. That's my prediction. Maybe he might show up at Hell in a Cell. I don't know. It's no surprise that WWE is once again going to the part-timer well, because the recent Raw reunion was the most watched episode of Raw since Raw 25 special in early 2018. Just like the Raw reunion, WWE made fans want to tune into that show by heavily featuring many legends from the past, including likes of Taker, who is expected to work more matches than usual going forward. The Dead Man is likely going to be back in action at some point in the near future, just as other part-timer stars will likely be back too. WWE is only in year two of its lucrative 10-year deal with Saudi Arabia, one that has already resulted in improbable in-ring returns for stars like Goldberg and Shawn Michaels, as the company also brought back names like Kane as well. And I heard that Kane's coming back starting after SummerSlam. I heard that Kane's coming back. Low key, I was like, ugh. Like, has he been working out? Has he, like, you know, got in ring shape? Like Kane as of late, like all I see, like he's slow. He's slow. Like Kane's slow. I'm sorry. He's not the same. I'm sorry. Like, when I saw him in 2012, I was scared for my life. Now, I just see a dude that's wearing a ridiculous wig and a mask. I mean, that's what I see now in Kane. I don't really see the big red machine. I just see a dude in a wig and an ugly mask. Plain and simple. The recent ratings success of part-timer-based shows, combined with that Saudi Arabian deal, SmackDown's move to Fox, and WWE's overall ratings woes, all make it virtually inevitable that the part-timer era is going to continue, even as WWE attempts to elevate new stars like Ricochet and Aleister Black. Wow, WWE will still try to push new names. The days of Taker, McMahon, Lesnar, Orton, and aging veterans dominating the top of the card are far from a thing of the past. SummerSlam is proof positive of that. So yeah, whatever part-timers you think they're gone, they're always coming back. And you got nothing to blame but that old bastard in Vince McMahon. That's all I got to say about that. That took me about 10 minutes to read. That took me almost 10 minutes to read or more. I don't know. I'm low-key mad about that. Honestly. Anyways. Okay, ringside news. WWE reportedly plans big meetings for superstars before SummerSlam. Well, I know why they're doing this. They did this for Stomping Grounds, I think, or Extreme Rules, or whenever AEW had their Double or Nothing show, right? I think they did the same shit for Money in the Bank, maybe. I don't know. I was told this morning it was being scrapped, so we'll see if that changes by Sundays. Yesterday's SmackDown Live rewrite left everyone confused. There's a big talent meeting being held Sunday morning. WWE will often call talent meetings to rally up their troops before a big show. At a time like this, WWE superstars might be able to use some extra motivation because a few of them reportedly want out of the company so they can seek their fortunes elsewhere in the pro wrestling world. I was told, Brad Shepard, that was pretty much it. So yeah, they're gonna have a meeting, you know. Honestly, I don't know if that's gonna help. That's why they had a meeting the last time, and that didn't really do much. I don't know. Ronda Rousey! I miss her so much right now. I never thought I'd be missing Ronda Rousey like this in the WWE. Low key. I mean, she was great. When she turned heel, she was fucking better than before. Like, when she came through in the first couple of months, I was like, alright, you know, I was okay with it. And then when she won the title by SummerSlam, that time I was like, alright, I want you to turn heel now. You're getting boring. You coming out smiling and high-fiving kids. I mean, I'm tired. I want you to be the badass. I want bitch Ronda. That's what I want. And then when she finally turned heel, and she called out the fans, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair said, screw the man, screw the woo, and then something along those lines. She turned heel, right? That Ronda Rousey was blessed, okay? Pretty much. So Ronda Rousey, this is from BleacherReport.com. Ronda Rousey hasn't been seen since losing to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Blah, blah, blah. Starts to have a family. Isn't expected back in the near future. But we could see her at SummerSlam. Is that realm of possibility? Well, let's get to the main shit. Because I really, 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 really don't care about all this shit. I don't want to go back. I don't want to talk about what happened in the past. I know she lost to Becky. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? There's that. After it was reported at the onset of 2019 that Rousey was looking to take time off following the show of shows, the loss of the title she had held since SummerSlam 2018 was hardly a surprise. Based off early speculation, fans were originally under the belief she was leaving the company altogether. However, WWE later clarified she is signed to them through April 2021. So she ain't going nowhere, which is blessed. Good. It was never revealed when the 32-year-old, she's 32. My God. Actually, that's actually a good age. I thought she was. I don't know. I never thought about how old Ronda Rousey was. I really never did. Would be back from her hiatus, but the WWE Women's Division desperately needs her at the moment. Low key, actually no, high key, no cap. They do need her. They need Ronda Rousey back because without Rousey, there's no spark in that women's division. Plain and simple. When Ronda left, then Sasha Banks left, and then the women's tag team division has been awful. The women's main situation has been awful. Sad. Again, the only champions I fuck with in the women's division is Bayley. A little bit of Becky. But mostly Bayley. Pretty much. To her credit, Lynch has made the most of everything since she's been given over the past 4 months, but without a strong heel to work with, which could have been Shayna Baszler, but no. They want to keep her in NXT, which I don't blame you at the same time. I don't blame you. Without a strong heel to work with, her reign as Raw Women's Champion has failed to live up to expectations. In fact, the man was arguably at her best when she was feuding with Rousey on the road to WrestleMania. Considering their one-on-one match on the grandest stage of them all turned into a triple threat, it's safe to say there was a lot of bad blood between the two. Natalya name-dropped Rousey during an installment of A Moment of Bliss last month and left fans to wonder whether the line was designed to take a hint at Lynch and the former UFC star, rekindling the rivalry before long. Also, it's also worth noting that Natalya told Joseph from, I'm not gonna pronounce his name, Joseph Statsu. I'm bad with names. Of New York Post that while Rousey has unfinished business with WWE, she's adamant about starting a family first with husband Travis Brown. Like there's an E, so Brown knee. No, okay, Brown. My bad, Travis Brown. WWE fans can doubt her all they want, but it's silly to suggest the baddest woman on the planet would be away from WWE TV all this time just to sit at home. On the off chance she has been fooling us from the get-go, it would have been a waste for her to be gone for so long. That said, SummerSlam would be as good of a time as any of her to make a quick cameo, even if she doesn't get physical. After all, her first ever on-screen appearance for WWE was at SummerSlam in 2014 when she was shown sitting at ringside along with the rest of her MMA 4 horsewomen. I remember that day. SummerSlam. She was at ringside. She was cheering for Stephanie McMahon when she went up against Brie Bella. I remember that. I was like, oh shit, Ronda Rousey's there. I didn't know Baszler, Shafir, and then the other one. I didn't know who they were. I just see Rousey because all I knew was Ronda Rousey and her undefeated streak and breaking a bitch's arm in 14 seconds. Sorry. Natalya hasn't exactly come across as a likable during her feud with Lynch and appears to despise the man as much as Rousey does. Imagine the title holder beating the Queen of Hearts only for Rousey to emerge and aid Natty in her assault on her arch rival. They would be a fantastic foil for Lynch, as well as a welcome addition to the depleted women's tag team scene. Again, fans shouldn't hold their breath regarding a Rowdy return on Sunday simply because there has been zero indication that it's in the cards. Nevertheless, it is exciting to entertain the idea of Rousey resurfacing at SummerSlam, exactly revenge on the woman who sent her career into a tailspin and reigniting the rivalry that could make the women's division interesting again. Again, I honestly feel like Ronda Rousey is heavily missed by the WWE universe. I honestly think, I still remember the days when fans were quoting Alexa Bliss when Alexa Bliss called her an overhyped rookie. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that quote. I was like, Alexa, you've only been in wrestling since 2014, 15? I understand, Rousey, it's not like she hasn't been in combat sports, you've been, you were a cheerleader or some shit? doing flips and whatnot. You're doing more flips than Ricochet, for all I know. But as far as the wrestling goes, I don't know. It's weird. I just didn't like that quote, overhyped rookie, and idiot fans online were taking that and they're using that, shoving it down to Rousey. I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't say she's an overhyped rookie in her face. I'm just saying. The bitch will break you down like that. I'm just, The only thing I did not like about Ronda Rousey is when WWE kept making her high-fiving fans, even though she cuts an intense promo. Again, how are you going to cut an intense promo, be all full of rage and anger, and then you come out and you're high-fiving, smiling kid? I mean, come on! That sets me off. It's like, fam. Like, what are you sending me here? You're sending me mixed signals. How are you going to be all raged and angry and just fucking want to rip somebody's throat out to high-fiving kids and smiling and giving out fucking gloves? Come on. Ridiculous. Anyways. So Ronda Rousey, I hope she comes back. Like, very soon. Ronda Rousey versus Becky. I feel like, if she could return, if I would pick a return date for her, if they're not going to do brand versus brand, I would make Ronda Rousey return for a Survivor Series. So before, like, they'll let the women build towards Survivor Series because they can't be on the Saudi Arabian show. So you let the women build towards Survivor Series. You have the women's captains being decided. You have Ronda Rousey come through. Lynch comes out talking shit. Back and forth segment. And then you have Rousey bring up her buddies, right? You let Rousey come through. You let Baszler come through. Shafir and the other one come through. I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. Right? You have the 4 horsewomen. You do the 8-woman tag at Survivor Series, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. You got Lynch, Charlotte, Bayley, and then you somehow, I don't know how you do it, WWE. I don't know how you do it. If you can, but you get back Sasha Banks and you have her be a part of that four-way elimination match at Survivor Series. Which 4 horsewoman is better than the other? Pretty much what I was going for there. So, I don't know. But I don't think that match is ever going to happen. We might get like a 6-woman situation here. We might get... Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if it was Baszler, Shafir, and the other one. And then we get Becky, Charlotte, Bayley. And we get those 3 going at it at Survivor Series. And Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks are not in the match at all. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens too. That could be like a backup there for all we know. And finally, maybe finally, because there's a lot of shit going on the side here. There's like a lot of more of news stuff I want to cover. Maybe. Is there? No. Oh yeah, I want to talk about Matt Riddle real quick. Matt Riddle. I saw this on Twitter. I watched the video on Monday. It was funny. Matt Riddle literally just said on Twitter, because some person on Twitter posted from Jericho's book, I think, don't call anyone old, don't bury anybody, because if you bury somebody and then they go and beat you, it's like the British Bulldog. Like, Jericho called the British Bulldog old and whatnot, buried him, right? And then British Bulldog was backstage, like, fella, who are you calling old? Like, who? Like, bruh, if you beat me, you just beat up an old man. But if I beat you, you lost to an old man. So there's no win-win there in Jericho's situation. And then Jericho said, listen and learn, kid. And some people took that as like a shot at Matt Riddle, because he's been burying Goldberg, right? And then Matt Riddle basically said, look, I could beat the shit out of you. I was like... I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm not even gonna get into that. That is some funny shit. Matt Riddle just comes out of the door and be like, you know what? I can just beat the shit out of you. This is something I'm actually hyped for. I'm actually hyped for this. Like, I have been watching more wrestling outside of WWE and Impact Wrestling and AEW. I've been watching a lot of NWA videos as of late on YouTube, right? NWA Wrestling. And I'm like, it'd be cool if they had like a TV show, like they have their own network on TV or something where I can like watch a full hour or two show of NWA wrestling. It'd be cool, you know. And I'm happy to see this. Billy Corgan announces new NWA weekly TV show. I don't know if it's still going to be online or they have a TV network. Well, we're going to see here. I have to watch the video though just to get the idea, but I'm just gonna read like the main basic here. There's no word yet on the location of tapings or where the TV series will air, but it looks to be a studio series that will see episodes taped and then released periodically, as they do with WWE, NXT, and Impact Wrestling, among other promotions. Quote, "It's one thing to say that you're rebooting the NWA. It's another thing to run matches on someone else's stage. We're very grateful to those people that shared their stage with us, most recently Ring of Honor, which was an incredible opportunity. But now it's our time to step forward, and it's time to bring the NWA back into the spotlight and run on its own oxygen." So we're very excited to announce that in October is going to be a lit month. Holy shit. So we're very excited to announce that in October in Atlanta, we'll be doing our own television again, Corgan said. Corgan went on about the unpredictability of studio wrestling series from the 1970s and 80s stood out to him as a kid. It had... quote, "It had a real feeling of chaos and anarchy, and I think that really sold to me as a fan that there was an element of danger and there was an element of anything could happen, and I really want to bring that back to pro wrestling. I think the NWA is the perfect vehicle to do that," Corgan said. The Smashing Pumpkins frontman took ownership of the legendary pro wrestling promotion back in October of 2017. The current NWA heavyweight champion of the world, I forgot what he calls himself. God damn it. The Crown Jewel, I think it was. I'm fucking it up. I forgot what he calls himself. But something along those lines, Nick Aldis, and the current NWA Women's Champion in Allison Kay, which was Sienna in Impact Wrestling. James Storm, the Cowboy, is the NWA National Heavyweight Champion, while PCO and Brody King of the Villain Enterprises are the current NWA World Tag Team Champs. So there you go. Again, I'm really happy about this. I've seen a lot, and I feel like enough. Think about that, you know? Because I don't want to watch Ring of Honor. I just don't have any interest with that, you know? My only interest in Ring of Honor was the Young Bucks and Cody and Jay Lethal, who I'm sure he's still there, and others, but I just don't feel the need to watch their shows anymore. I really don't. You know, New Japan, it's hard for me to watch, you know? I'm not going to lie, it really is. Like sometimes it is. But like, AEW, WWE, Impact Wrestling are my main three right now. And the fact that now NWA, they're going to have their own TV series, I mean, fam, I don't mind a number 4. I don't mind a number 4. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind a number 4, you know? 424. I don't mind 4 more. I don't mind another 4 of a wrestling company to watch. So NWA being another wrestling company to be on TV, sign me up, please. Like, and all I'm waiting for at AEW, because they keep announcing how they're going to be going here, they're going to be going there, they're going to be going here and there, Boston, fucking Chicago, Las Vegas, this one, that one. All I'm waiting for is Toronto. Once I hear Toronto, my ass is buying a ticket the second they release the tickets, okay? Because I know that shit's going to be gone like that. If they're able to sell within 2 hours of AEW TV, I'm sure Boston, same shit. It's going to be sold out quick. I'm sure in Philadelphia, they're going to be going into. It's going to be sold out quick. So I'm sure the second that they have a show in Toronto, where it's the Coca-Cola Coliseum, which is a stupid name, but Coca-Cola Coliseum, which used to be the Ricoh Coliseum, or the Air Canada Center, which is now the Scotiabank Arena, one of those two, well, if they announce one of those two, my ass is buying that ticket. And I'm gone. No doubt. So, there's that. And finally, how long have I been going? I've been going for 59 minutes. Holy shit! Wow. Well, let's end it off with this. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about. Everything else is just minor shit that I really don't care. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. I'm glad I saw the Billy Corgan announcing. I gotta watch the video though to get an understanding of it. So I'll do that after. Gail Kim final. This is the final thing I'm gonna talk about, and I'm done for the day. All right. Gail Kim asked WWE to wake up and stop wasting their Asian female wrestlers. Gail Kim joined the line of everyone who feels the same way. Join that line, woman. Join that line. Gail Kim, you know, she was there. She was there before. What did she do? She said, you know what? Fuck this shit. Yo, Impact, how you doing? So she went to Impact, became the first ever Knockouts champ, and then did good shit over there with Awesome Kong. You know, I know their history a little bit. And then, you know, I remember Gail Kim. I remember watching her on Raw or SmackDown at one point, 2011. And then watching Impact the couple of days later, the same week. And I just see her on Impact. I'm like, the fuck? What? I just saw you on Raw. What are you doing here on Impact, you know? And then she came back, and then she became Knockouts Tag Team Champion with Madison Rayne. And then went on to win the Knockouts title literally after that. So there's that with Gail Kim. So Gail Kim knows what it's like to be in WWE. I swear she won the women's title in her debut match, by the way, in 2004. I think so, right? In WWE, she won a Battle Royale or some shit. Yeah, I think so. As Asuka and Kairi Sane came out for their tag team elimination 4-way match for the women's tag team titles, the graphic for the Kabuki Warriors included the Twitter handles for Kairi Sane and NXT superstar Io Shirai and not Asuka. Sane and Shirai previously teamed before in NXT before Sane went to SmackDown before she got called up. But now she has been a part of the Kabuki Warriors with Asuka since arriving on the Blue brand. A Twitter user took a screenshot of the era and posted it to the popular social media platform. Apparently, Io Shirai is a part of the Kabuki Warriors now, the user wrote. Former women's champion and Impact Wrestling champion and Hall of Famer Gail Kim replied to the picture with frustration, quote, wow, so sad when they have the most talented Asian female wrestlers on the planet, Gail wrote. Quote, well, wake up WWE and stop wasting all of them. Utilize their talent. End quote. The error had also garnered the attention of Io Shirai herself. Shirai tweeted a response which translates to, quote, what? Hashtag look for mistakes. Pretty much. Yeah, and then there's like the Twitter thing that they post on the website. And although they came down to the final two teams in the previously noted 4-way elimination match for the women's tag titles, the Kabuki Warriors lost. It's uncertain if they will get an opportunity at Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross women's tag team titles in the future, but we'll keep updated. We'll keep you updated. Io Shirai will face Candice LeRae at TakeOver Toronto 2, which I will be at. I'll keep shoving it down your fucking throats until then. And yeah. So that's pretty much it. I heard of that. I didn't notice because I just kept skipping through the shit. Remember, I record the damn episode before I even watch it, so I could skip through the commercials. I could skip through the boring stuff, and anything interesting happens, I pause and I watch the whole thing. But if it's anything boring, I skip. Because Monday Night Raw, I have no trust in you whatsoever to sit through 3 whole hours going through commercial breaks, by the way, and not skip a single thing. I don't trust your ass no more. I do the same thing for Raw and SmackDown. Okay? Pay-per-views, I just sit there and whatever happens happens. So, what do we learn here? WWE does not care about Asuka. They don't care about Kairi. They're not going to care about Io. They're not going to care about Bianca. They're not going to care about Mia. They're not going to care about all these fucking women that's in NXT and on the main roster now. We don't know why, because, well, I don't know why. I don't know why. Honestly. They have so much talent, charisma, personality that you can get behind them. Alexa Bliss, what personality does she has? Nothing. I don't see anything in Alexa Bliss. I really don't. Mandy Rose, she's hot. She plays up to that. She's hot. Okay, that's good enough. Sonya Deville, she can box. You know, MMA star. Got it. Simple. Asuka, I can't really describe it, but she got something there. Kairi Sane, Pirate Princess, right? Alexa Bliss. Nothing. Nikki Cross, she's crazy. Easy. Alexa Bliss, though. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. So again, like, what does Alexa Bliss has as character and personality that she's getting pushed all this? But again, maybe some people were right. Looks will get you far. You know? I don't know. Anyways, I think that's it. We've been talking for an hour. Fuck. I feel like my Universe Mode video. Good grief. So yeah. You notice, you guys, you people are so damn lucky right now. I've been doing so much shit. Okay, that's a lie. But then, still, as far as YouTube goes, I've been posting a lot of content. A lot more than before. I posted Raw and SmackDown videos within days now. Not even like a week or 2 weeks. No, days! Wanna know why? Because I feel like I've been slacking and I feel like I want to get my shit out. Number one. Number two, 2K20 is coming out and I gotta get all my shit because I want to get to Survivor Series before 2K20. And I'm already at Backlash. I have 2 pay-per-views to go. Then I got to do SummerSlam. And then I got to do another 2 exclusive pay-per-views, and then Survivor Series. So maybe I'll be able to do the exclusive pay-per-views by 2K20 after SummerSlam. But I think SummerSlam might be my last show in 2K19. Judging by this time right now that it's August 7th, I honestly feel I won't be able to get that done because then again, I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to deliver shitty ass episodes. The SmackDown episode I uploaded this week was very lackluster in my eyes. I did not add anything to have interest. The only thing I did was I recorded the Ember Moon Bianca Belair match last second because I'm like, I need something. I don't want to post the. I was gonna have Otis and Tucker Knight facing the Bludgeon Brothers again. I was gonna do that to build up for a match at Backlash, right? But obviously I changed that last minute because I realized, oh shit, I don't have anything to build for the women's match at Backlash. So I have to change that, put Ember Moon versus Bianca Belair because I've not posted a match with Bianca Belair yet. And Ember Moon needs some build up heading towards the show even though she lost, but I mean, it's a win-loss situation there. You know, Ember Moon could look good and lose, or Bianca Belair could just dominate and then lose too. Like, you never know. But one day I might make a video of me having of me, you know, telling you guys my last minute changes in my Universe Mode videos. Like, I feel I have to make a video of that one day because honestly, it feels like there's a lot of things I've done that you may see and you may think, oh my god, that's great, that's genius. And then when I tell you, oh, this was like the last minute decision, this was like, I changed this, not on the fly, because obviously I can't do that, but it's like right before I'm about to hit record, I look at it and I redo some things, and then, yeah, pretty much that's how it works. So, maybe one day I will get to that. But for now, you have to deal with me being, you know, here and there, you know, situation. So if you guys can, please leave a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching to the 7 Days Podcast. What do you guys think? Does Seth Rollins need to shut his ass up, or, you know, what's the case there? Leave your comments down below. Hope you guys can enjoy, like, subscribe, and I'm out. Later.